Hello and very welcome to edition number 6 of Wechsler Consulting Cloud News. In this episode we do have a June 2020 Azure talk, new topics and information around Azure. And as a special focus topic I've selected anomaly detection, which is part of the Azure Cognitive Services, which are offering of different API services providing easy access to artificial intelligence solutions. Alright, let's have a look at the new topics. In June, in the wake of the Build conference in May, there have been no large releases. Mainly there have been updates to already existing services, and some quite interesting updates have been made to Azure Shared Image Gallery. Shared Image Gallery now is able to work with specialized images, in contrast to generalized images, which looking at Windows, for example, are sysprepped images, which means that all user-dependent information, profile information, and so on is removed from the image. Therefore, it's called generalized. One of the drawbacks of generalized images is that, of course, user-specific information cannot easily be preset to be available in VM images. You can leverage specialized images instead now. You gain some new features, of course, user-specific features, but you have to live with some of the drawbacks having already old or outdated user information in your VM image. Shared Image Galleries now support scale sets, which is a great thing to scale and use the elastic scale capabilities of Azure. And after these features, which became globally available, we have some interesting preview features. For example, to capture VMs via the Azure portal, to generate new images, which then can be used, for example, in Windows Virtual Desktop pools and so on. In preview, there's also support for bring your own key, which is quite interesting. You're able to have your own custom encryption key to be used, for example, for virtual hard disks and storage devices. And another handy feature coming in is the ability to copy VMs between galleries. Another thing that struck my eye was Web Live Preview in Visual Studio and ASP.NET. This is a feature which enables you to develop and see side by side in a browser the updates to the website you're developing. This is very beneficial if you want to see in real time which effect your coding has, of course. The only thing that waters a little bit this experience is that it's currently only supported for .NET Classic, and .NET Core support is yet to come. I do hope they're not waiting too long, because as far as I know, most new websites now are developed using .NET Core, of course. I also stumbled across a very interesting video which shows the current Azure security best practices. This is certainly nothing groundbreaking, and I do hope that you already know most of them, but it's a very good summary. And if you stick to those main security best practices, you will already have a very good secured system. But now to the main topic of this week's Cloud News, the Cognitive Services Anomaly Detection, which is a very interesting new service in the Cognitive Services family. And it's relatively easy to understand what it does. It detects and monitors anomalies in time series data, and therefore ideally can be used in scenarios where you have to monitor something, or where seldomly outliers in your data, spikes or something like that, occur, which you need to handle. And this is quite often the case in business processing as well as industrial manufacturing processes. And these anomalies are quite often hard to detect via normal code. Quite often this is done by setting thresholds, but thresholds are not able to react dynamically. And the interesting thing is that anomaly detection, through the adaptation of the underlying AI models and boundaries, is able to handle these dynamic variations. As an output, you get from the API data points, which are detected as anomalies, and the service can be used in a standard way via REST API. The REST API provides two processing modes. The one is real-time, looking at data flowing in, and the other would be batch data processing if you, for example, want to work through historic data. There are some additional features coming with anomaly detection. It provides metadata on expected values, boundaries and positions, and you're also able to fine-tune the automatic detection by adjusting the API sensitivity, which is a great thing to get the expected results. Let's have a short look at the workflow. To use anomaly detection, you would take time series data and convert it into a valid JSON format the API is accepting. Then you send a request to the API, and from the API you get back a JSON response, which you just need to pass to get the information about your data. Use cases, for example, are to use the detected anomalies as triggers for any actions, for example, compensating action the creation of warnings, messages, and so on. Or you could delve deeper into that anomaly information to decide what to do. And if you're doing this, basically the sky is the limit. You can think of anything, and it's very helpful if your use case scenario involves the monitoring and controlling of processes. As I said, it also helps you to save programming time, and it's also fine-tuning automatically during its use, which provides the possibility to make it a great asset in your next monitoring solution. What else happened at Cloud Campus here at Wechsler Consulting? Well, we still have our current courses on Azure IoT Telemetry, a highly recommended jumpstart course to get you up and running with Azure IoT, and brand new last month released the OPC Unified Architecture Getting Started course based on the OPC UA reference stack. So no vendor stacks. This course is based on the official reference stack. I also did some posts on live video analytics, another very interesting service out of the Cognitive Services family. And you should also be aware that there's a free Blazor training out there made by Carl Franklin, a real expert on the topic and also former Microsoft Regional Director. That's it for this month's episode. I hope you find the information useful. And if there are any questions, please leave a message below. Thanks a lot and goodbye from Alexander Wechsler.